Love it. So, hi everyone, it's almost Thanksgiving, and guess what? I am making a cranberry sauce that's going to knock your socks off because I love that we can put something fresh and raw on the table, and let's face it, this is one of the few things that you can probably put on the table that most people see as traditional, but we're going to zip it up a little bit. And so, it's a cranberry sauce made with raw, fresh cranberries. And believe it or not, the way I did this recipe is you're just going to grab the bag, take it into your kitchen, go ahead and rinse off your cranberries. And what you're looking for, kind of mix them around. If you see any that have been smashed or start to get moldy, toss those. You don't want those in here. If you're cooking that down, it's not that big of a deal, but since we're doing it raw, you want them gone. So then we're going to add it to our smaller vessel. You'll have to see what I've done. I bought the smaller vessel of my Vitamix. You can see it's about half, and I have used this all the time. This was my gift to myself last Christmas, and I absolutely love it. It's the one thing that's out on the shelf, or out on my counter all the time. I love it. So we're going to add the cranberries in, and because cranberries are really, really tart on this particular recipe, because again, they're live, we're not boiling them down and adding sugar, we do need to add ingredients that will sweeten this up. And so I like to use really, really ripe pineapple. We've got a cup of that in there. And then I'm going to take an apple. That's going to lend another sweetness to us. And this apple was quite small. I think what I'm going to do is use more than a half. I think I'm going to go ahead and use about 3/4 of this apple, because I really do want it to add a little sweetness to it. And again, I'm using a red sweet, I can't remember what the name of this apple was, but anyway, a good sweet apple. Don't use the Granny Smith. Okay, remember, we're trying to get the tartness out of there. Then we are going to use honey as our sweetener. Love honey as a sweetener. Again, choose raw honey. You probably have in your community a beehive or a person who does backyard beekeeping. Now is the time to buy from them. They've already harvested their honey from the summer, and it'll be just perfect. We're going to add a little bit of cinnamon. That lends it that Christmassy flair, that Thanksgiving flair, and then just a pinch of salt. It's funny how when you're using salt full of mineral, you can add that to recipes and it just tastes delicious. And that's it. Really simple recipe to make, probably with stuff you have on hand except for the cranberries. And then I'm going to expect to use my plunger. And again, the smaller one has the small plunger, so that's kind of fun. I put my plunger in before I start. Love how beautiful this is. So remember, I told you that we started making this a few days before Thanksgiving because I wanted to let the taste all meld together. But I do need to do a taste on this because I may need to add some more sugar, my sweetener, maybe a little more apple. I have to make a decision about that. And you know what? I like the way it tastes right now. In fact, I'm just going to add a little more honey, because I do want it to have that special flavor. Just a little bit more sweetness. If I had more pineapple, I could have added more pineapple, but that isn't the flavor that I'm going for. I just want a little bit more sweet on there. The cinnamon's coming out beautifully. Love that. So we'll just blend that in. Awesome. And then you'll see that the recipe calls for additional optional walnuts, which I am going to add in, and raisins. If you have golden raisins, that just looks absolutely beautiful on the table. And you can see how soft that just is, so gorgeous. The color is vibrant. Here come the walnuts, and yes, I did soak and dehydrate these walnuts. So for people who may have problems digesting walnuts, they shouldn't have any problems digesting these. It's just beautiful. And then there you go. Now you have something beautiful, vibrant, full of enzymes to put on your Thanksgiving table. So happy Thanksgiving.